Hello, and welcome to The Ganru Show. I'm Golda.
And I'm Wanru.
And this is a podcast that's just like hanging out with your two best girlfriends.
It's like bending down without your knees popping.
Ooh, ouch. It's like buying some Krispy Kreme donuts and eating it and then not worrying about acid reflux.
It's like not even knowing what acid reflux is.
I don't know what it is.
Me neither.
In today's episode, we'll be talking about grabbing aging by the balls and telling it who's boss.
Take that, aging.
Take that.
And you'll find out why Golda wants a house with a lanai.
Oh, you know it. And you'll also find out why Wanru is secretly designing a tiny house.
Teeny tiny house.
So let's get started.
So first up, our segment called The Best Thing I Heard This Week.
This is probably one of my favorite segments.
Why's that?
I think it's a good way to share things.
Okay, so share something that you heard this week. What's the best thing that you heard?
All right. Well, so as many of you know, or maybe not know, one of my all-time favorite TV shows is The Golden Girls.
Love that show.
Do you remember The Golden Girls?
I love it.
Do we know the song, the theme song? Thank you for being a friend. Down
the road and back again.
Your heart is true. You're a pal and a confidant.
Oh my God.
Made me want to visit Miami, boy, let me tell you. And they have it on reruns in various cable shows out there, cable networks out there. And I was just thinking about The Golden Girls. And this was a show that aired in like the late 80s, something like that, early 90s.
Hearing that theme song makes me want to wear shoulder pads again.
Oh, man, totally. And tunics.
Yeah.
And go on the lanai.
Flowy tunics.
Do you remember the lanai?
Oh, yeah. And then retire to the lanai. Anyway.
Yes. And it starred a powerhouse of a cast. Betty White, B. Arthur, Estelle Getty, Rue McClanahan. And it centered around these four ladies who, you know, they were getting along in age and they decided to get together as a community and live under the same house.
Mm-hmm.
And then shenanigans ensued. And I think one of the things they wanted to show was that even as you get older, you're still very vibrant and you still have sex lives and you still have a life, essentially, right?
Totally.
And so I was loving the show, as I always do. And I decided to look up, gosh, how old were they when they shot this TV show? I mean, in my eyes, I thought they were in like their 80s or something because they Golden Girls, right? It's like they're a bunch of oldies. But turns out they weren't that old.
How old
by
were
today's
they?
standards? So, okay. So B. Arthur, who played Dorothy on Golden Girls, she was 63 years old.
She looked like she was 75.
She looked at least 75. Or they made her look like that. And then you had Betty White, who was 63 at the time as well.
And she's eternally ageless, that Betty White.
I love her.
Oh my God, what a role model for aging.
I love her. Now, Estelle Getty, who played Dorothy's mom, she was the lady who played Sophia. I remember her. She always carried her bag everywhere.
Yep.
And she had always the one-liners, snarky remarks. Loved her. She was 62.
Oh, so she was actually younger than the other two actresses.
Yeah, she was younger than her fictitious daughter. She was a year younger.
Nuts.
62 years old. They made her look like an old, like, Mama Celeste Italian grandma.
Oh, don't bring it up, okay? Mama Celeste was her rival.
Oh, she was like, my salami is the best. So she was 62 when they filmed this. Can you believe it?
That's crazy.
And then the youngest, the baby of them all, was the lady who played Blanche Dubois, Rue McClanahan. She was 51.
That is insane.
And they called them the Golden Girls.
My God.
Living in a retirement city like Miami, trying to get the grooves on. This is before Sex and the City, by the way. I'm just saying.
And if you think about it, not that they didn't have vibrant lives on the TV show, but a 51-year-old woman or a 61-year-old woman today is so vastly different.
Oh my God.
How they were portrayed back then, right?
Oh my God. The way that the perception of what old was back then is completely different than what it is today. So I was starting to think about who in today's pop culture would be the Golden Girls, given the old Golden Girls, prerequisites there.
Yeah.
Again, the eldest was 63, 62, and 51. So we looked up some people on how old they were. And one of the most surprising ones, let's just start young, is Jennifer Lopez.
That's crazy.
Is 50 years old.
Jenny from the Block is 50. That's insane.
If she was living back in those days and was the age that she is today, she would be playing Rue McClanahan's Blanche's character. She would be a golden girl.
I mean, if she was cast on that show, she would be, although she's the same age practically as Rue McClanahan, she would be cast as that young hussy who steals Rue's like boyfriend or something like that.
Yeah.
But she's the same age and she looks amazing.
Yeah. Who was like a widow, and she's just getting her second like light there, second steam, second, what's they call it? Second wind in their life. And then we have someone like Sandra Bullock.
Insane.
Sandra Bullock, Bird Box.
She's older than 50.
She's 54.
What?
She is 54. God bless Sandra Bullock.
And the crazy thing is, as we started looking at these celebrities, there are so many women who are still viewed as sexy, energetic, and full of life and in their prime.
Yes.
In their 50s.
Yes.
Jennifer Aniston. Courtney Cox.
Halle Berry.
Halle Berry's a bombshell to this day. She's a bombshell.
So had they been this age that they are today, back when they were casting for the Golden Girls, they would probably be in the same casting office next to Rue McClanahan for the role of Blanche. Crazy?
Jennifer Lopez would be in her deep V-neck scarf dress.
Yeah.
Next to Rue McClanahan, who's wearing like a tunic that was all glittery. Remember they used to dress them in these like shapeless bag things?
Oh, totally. Yeah. Totally. With the long tunic with the slacks. Remember that? Or the silk dress that was a thick belt around it. You remember that one? Oh man. So, and then we have some of the other folks who are in their 60s. Like, this was a surprise to me. Julia Louis-Dreyfus. She's one of my idols. She's on Veep and Seinfeld and many other things. Brilliant actor, comedian. She is 60. I'm sorry, she's 58 years old.
Oh my God.
How is that possible?
I believe it.
How is that possible?
I think Ellen DeGeneres is 61 years old.
What?
She still looks like a young kid.
You know who else is 61?
Who?
Angela Bassett.
Oh my God.
So if they were living today, if they're the same age they are today, back when they were casting for Golden Girls,
they'd be playing Sophia.
Demi Moore, how old did you say she was? Did you say?
I think she's nearly 60. I think she's 57.
57, yeah. And Jodie Foster's 57 as well.
Oh, Jane Seymour, Dr. Quinn Medicine Woman, 66.
What?
Susan Sarandon, 72. We've broken the 70s.
Wow, Susan Sarandon's still hot. She's a hot mama.
Super hot.
She's a hot mama in her 70s.
My God. So this is an awesome thing to realize this week, which is that...
What's that?
I mean, women, they're role models of women who are aging in such a beautiful way.
Yeah.
And an awesome way, an exciting way, and an energetic and lively way.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I would be so happy to look like Jennifer Lopez now, like tomorrow.
Man, I want to look like Angela Bassett. She's 61. Wow. That's impressive. That's impressive. Anyway, so that's the best thing that I heard this week as I was, going on Nickelodeon or all these other channels looking at the Golden Girls. Wow. There's just like I love that show, and they were seen as so ancient, but they weren't really that old.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What about you? What's the best thing that you heard this week, Wanru?
Okay, so we're talking about aging today and resilience and aging gracefully.
Yep.
So I have a coworker named Evelyn, who's the sweetest little Filipino lady. She's so cute. And the thing I admire about her the most is she's so positive.
Aw, that's nice.
She can face anything.
Like an example.
Any hardship.
For example.
Okay. For example, she had to have like a quadruple bypass surgery.
Oh no, how old is she?
I
Would you
think
guess?
she's close to retirement age, so maybe
Okay.
63 or
Oh,
64.
poor
Still very
thing.
young, and she
Okay.
looks great. So whenever you see her, she's always so happy. She greets you so warmly, and then she reveals something very serious, and then she lightens it up.
Oh,
Okay, so give me an example. I'll give you an example. Just compensate. Just say, I'll be Evelyn.
okay.
And you say how good I look today.
Oh, hi, Evelyn.
Hi, Golda.
You look so great today.
Oh, no, you're so beautiful. Not me, you.
Oh no, I mean, I heard you were going through some health stuff.
Oh, yeah. I'm trying to look better. I put makeup. I put a lot of makeup every day, try to look better. I just pile it on. I need more and more makeup or else I look worse and worse. But it's okay. I try.
You look great though.
Oh, thank you.
I wouldn't have known that you were wearing makeup.
Okay, yeah, you're beautiful. You don't need makeup,
Aw,
Golda.
Thank you.
And then ask me about my most recent illness.
Tell me about your most recent illness.
Oh, okay. You see, look my neck, you see?
Oh, wow.
Scar.
Oh.
Open heart surgery,
Oh
huh?
no.
They cut me open. They opened my chest. They cracked it open. It was so painful.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
And afterwards, I couldn't eat. I couldn't swallow.
Oh gosh.
I thought that's the end.
Oh, I'm so
That's the end
sorry.
for me,
Wow.
because I couldn't swallow. So painful. Yeah.
Oh.
But I'm okay.
Okay.
I made it. I survived. I'm here.
Wow.
Yeah, I started eating.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I ate more, and I'm 95 pounds now.
Wow.
Much better. I was 85 pounds before I survived.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. You don't look a pound past 94.
So that's Evelyn.
She sounds wonderful.
She will tell you every
Silver lining galore.
Dude, she will tell you about all these hardships, and then she'll be like, "But I'm here. I'm great. I survived. Isn't that
Aw.
great?"
Yeah.
Yeah, and she does look. By the way, she looks fabulous. She looks youthful and energetic.
What a wonderful mindset, too, right?
Yeah.
Where she doesn't let the challenges of life bog her down.
Mm-hmm.
She actually just kind of lets it roll off her back. Sounds like.
It's very Golden Girls of her.
How so?
Because the Golden Girls, no matter what they threw at them, they just embraced it either with humor, sarcasm, or sexiness. Or Italian food.
Oh, yeah. Or cheesecake.
Or cheesecake. Yeah, cheesecake.
Yeah. Remember they had cheesecake, those late night cheesecakes?
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember that. That was how there was like their therapy session. They would all get together in their robes.
Yeah.
Like past midnight and talk about like whatever problems they had, and everything was solved with cheesecake.
Promise me that we'll have cheesecake sessions in robes. Keto cheesecake.
Keto cheesecakes.
Do you promise?
Promise.
Pinky swear. And that was
The best thing we heard this week. Today we've got a doozy. We are going to talk about kicking aging in the nuts.
Giving it a swift kick right in the area that it matters.
Yes, we are not afraid of you aging. And this is what we're going to do is we're going to share with all of you what are some of our thoughts as far as how you can kick aging in the nuts. Wanru, would you like to kick us off on what to think about?
Sure. First, I like to start with a quote, which will kind of frame my view on aging.
Okay.
It's from George Bernard Shaw.
Ooh.
I don't know is he a writer? Is he a poet?
I think he is, yeah.
Okay. It's a good quote. I just Googled aging quotes, and this is one of my favorites.
Okay.
We don't stop playing because we grow old. We grow old because we stop playing.
Oh. What do you think he meant by that? What does that mean exactly?
It's all about your mindset.
Ah, okay. Okay.
Mhm.
So that being said, what would you say are maybe some of your top tips on aging?
I would like to get that more towards the end.
Oh, okay. Okay. I gotcha.
As we build up to it. I actually would like to ask you first.
Yeah.
How do you feel being middle-aged? Or would you even qualify yourself as middle-aged? Golda says she's perpetually in her 30s, but I'm not afraid to admit that I'm in my 40s. I'm 43 this year.
Wow.
So
That's great.
Yeah. So I think I qualify as being middle-aged.
Okay. Well, what is the average life expectancy these days? Do you know?
Oh, well, in the US, for both men and women,
Yeah.
the average age is 78.7 years. So like 79 years.
Wow. Okay.
So like half of that would be, what is it? 39.5 or something like that. Yeah.
We're definitely past middle age. I'm like 75% there. So I had read that women live longer though than men.
Yes, they do. In general, yes, they do.
In general, women live a full 5 years longer than men do.
Damn.
Why do you think that is? Why do you think that is?
I have many reasons. I heard it's because we are more conscientious, and take care of ourselves. We go to the doctor, you know.
Oh, okay.
We get checkups. We live a very moderate lifestyle. And men are more likely to do high testosterone pursuits, which may end their life prematurely. And they also don't really take care of themselves. They're not like flossers or going to the doctor types.
Men, wait a minute. So you're saying men don't floss?
Yeah, that's what kills them. It's the lack of flossing.
Okay, men out there. Tag us on your flossing pictures. Teeth flossing. Don't go crazy.
If they only flossed and wore more Dr. Scholl's insoles, their life expectancy would just increase.
Well, you know what I also thought was really interesting is I actually looked up life expectancy around the world in the different countries that had the highest life expectancy. And as of the data, I believe, of last year, the United States ranks number 53 as far as the amount of years that folks live.
Dang, that's kind of low,
It's not very good. It's not very good. I think Guam beat us. Guam is better at living longer than we are. They were number 52. And then right above Guam was Taiwan.
Oh, yay!
Taiwan won. Taiwan won over Guam in the United States.
That's really bad because all I ever hear about Guam is how bad the food that they eat is. Like it's all junk food and stuff imported from the United States, like Spam and stuff.
Oh, interesting. I wonder what's going on in Guam. Well, it's by fractions, so it's not by too much. But number one country that has the highest mortality rate is Monaco.
Sorry, highest life expectancy.
Life expectancy,
not
yes.
mortality.
Yes.
Yeah.
Life expectancy is Monaco.
Oh, how glamorous.
At 89 years old.
Oh, goddamn. French Riviera. Look at them.
Why do you think that is?
I don't know, because they're too busy being on the beach, tanning themselves naked.
I don't think they have any problems in Monaco.
I don't. I think it's a relatively wealthy country.
Okay.
As well.
Okay.
Well, so let's say Monaco is an outlier. Who's number two?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't go that far.
Japan.
Japan. Japan was number two with also, I think, an 89 years old, 89.2, something like that, by fractions.
Yeah.
They also have a very high life expectancy.
And here we are with Guam and Taiwan.
The worst is Syria.
Oh, of course. Oh, yeah. Yes, because of the war, I'm sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so, yeah. But anyway, the United States is right in the middle. You would think that we would be a little bit better, but we're number 53.
Yeah, I've heard we spend the most on healthcare, and yet we have the worst life expectancy of developed nations.
Yeah, that's not good, right?
That's not good. That's something to focus on.
Something to think about. So for those of you who live in the United States, knowing this information, I guess now we're thinking, well, how do we tackle aging? How do we kick aging in the nuts?
Yeah, grab it by the balls and then
show them who's boss.
I'm trying to think of
show them who's boss, right?
Exactly.
Right. Well, I think that for me, what I've seen, as far as my research goes, a lot of the reasons why people pass away is from various diseases. So the top two are heart disease and cancer. So that's very correlated to a lot of different things. Of course, your health, right? And arguably, it's what you're eating. It's how what your mindset is like, how you deal with stress, all of those things. The environment that you live in is really big. But yeah, I thought that was really interesting. I think we're moving outside in terms of this particular topic, like trying to find out, what the landscape looks like right now, and then trying to problem solve this.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So I think what you and I were talking about, Wanru, is when we talk about aging and kicking aging in the nuts, we're not talking particularly about vanity.
Although that's an element of it.
It's important to look good, right? But there's also other things as well.
Yeah. Before we dive into what we think would be the most helpful tips, I just have one more thing to add about lifespan.
Yes.
Oh, maybe this is a tip in itself.
Yes.
I'm going to give you 4 categories, and you tell me who you think lives the shortest life on average to the longest life.
Okay.
Okay. Let's do married women. We're talking about heterosexual couples here. So married women, married men, single women, single men. Those are the 4 categories, and you put them in order in terms of which you think would live the shortest lifespan to the longest. And you guys can do this at home too. In your mind right now, just put them in order. So it's married women, married men, single women, single men.
Got it. I think that single men die fast.
They die fast. Very fast.
That's what I'm thinking. Single men die fast.
They don't do well alone. Let's just say.
And then married men die fast. And then married women. And then single women.
Ding, ding,
single
ding,
women.
ding.
Am I right?
100% correct.
And what do we learn from? So again, the people who die faster are single men. Then the next fast dyer is married men. And then married women.
Is the next slower dyer.
Yes.
And the slowest dyer is
single women.
Correct.
Wow. And what can we derive from this information?
Well, what I can derive is, when the man spends his half a year's paycheck to give his soon-to-be bride a ring, he's literally bribing her and saying, I'm going to give you this $10,000 ring or however much it is because you are going to give up your life for my life. You're shaving a couple of years off of your life and giving it to me.
Okay.
Because the thing about single men is thestatistically, this is what the study says, I'm not judging y'all, is that they don't really take care of themselves as well as single women do. Single women, they got all the time to take care of themselves, and they do. They're more conscientious. They go to the doctor, they floss, they wear Dr. Scholl's insoles. I keep pushing these 2 things. I think that's going to be my takeaway.
I think so.
They have more time for rest, for preparing food, for doing all the things that they're interested in. And single women have more time to maintain their social networks.
So based on the results here, it sounds to me like single men don't like being single.
I don't know.
Or it's not good for their health.
It's not good for their health.
But single women,
they're
it's
like,
great for your health.
Great. It's fantastic.
Let me ask you this. Do kids get put in here somewhere? Meaning if you have kids,
that's a good question. I don't know.
Does that make your life happier or extend your life or reduce your life?
Good question. I did not factor that in the study.
I think that they reduce the years.
Or would they make it longer? Because imagine if you're a single man, let's say you're a widower, but you have kids, you'd live longer, right? Than a single man who has no family. That guy's a goner.
Well, I guess it depends on the kids. If they're a bunch of deadbeats.
Yeah, exactly.
That just give you stress. I will share with you. I was talking to my mom the other day. All of you guys know my mom, Mama in Quito. And I asked her, I said, do you believe that people who have kids are truly happy, or are the people who don't have kids happier? And without missing a beat, she said, oh, the people who don't have kids are for sure happier.
She said, looking her daughter straight in the eyes.
Disapprovingly. No. And she goes, it's because no matter how old the kids become, you're always going to worry about your kids.
Aww.
Regardless, you're always going to worry. It's just more worry, which then compounds their health, right?
But the thing about it is, it also gives them a reason to live. They're always like, oh, I want to live to see my daughter get married. Oh, now I want to live to see her have a kid. Oh, now there's a second grandson coming. There's like always a motivation for them to stay alive.
Right. Or, oh, my daughter's getting married. Oh, she can never afford that mortgage. Or, oh, my daughter's getting married. She's going to have kids. Oh, they can afford that kid. That means they're going to borrow from me. Uh-oh, there goes my retirement fund.
I got to keep working now. Gray hair sprouting.
Total grass is always greener, right? Just,
It's so true.
Yeah.
So for that factor, the kids, I really don't have any statistics to back it up. All I have is it has been studied that if you're a man, get married.
Yeah.
And if you're a woman, stay single or get married. It's up to you. But that it does affect your lifespan. Another more interesting thing is, because this just talks about people who get married and stay married, right?
Yeah.
They said for both men and women, if you get a divorce,
yeah.
oh,
Uh-oh.
life expectancy drops
Ooh.
a lot.
Really?
I don't know why. The stress?
Maybe?
Yeah, even if you get
money,
married.
you don't have enough money anymore to pay for those medicines that are making you stressed?
All of the above. All of the above. I guess that they say it's better to be consistent. So if you get married, stay married. If you want to be single, stay single. The worst is to get married, divorced, remarried, and divorced a second time. Oh my God, every single time, I think your life expectancy is dropping off.
Wow. So if you're in a really bad marriage and you say to your partner, I'm going to stay in this marriage even though I'm miserable, I'm staying in the marriage because by sheer statistics, I'll live longer if I'm miserable and married than if I divorce you.
How about this? Let's stay married on paper, but I'm moving into a different house.
Ooh.
You get the benefits of not being divorced, but still living like a single person.
Look at you. You're a master of the workarounds.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a good, and I think people actually do that. They do stick around because it allows for them to still have somebody there, right?
Yeah.
But without the daily responsibilities, I guess.
Exactly, yeah.
Interesting.
So that's my first tip, which is
be a single woman.
Be a single woman.
And for God's sake, single man, find a girlfriend or a boyfriend.
Somebody soon. So this, again, this is heterosexual couples. I wonder, with gay men, I wonder if they'd be just as good single or in a partnership.
I don't know.
Who knows?
Who knows? That remains to be seen, I guess.
Another study will reveal that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so that's kind of the background in aging. Quick question.
Yeah.
Have you had any observations now that we're entering into middle age? How have you changed? How have you changed physically and mentally? Have you observed anything about yourself?
Girl,
tell me.
Oh my gosh. Once I hit 40 and okay, I guess I'm 40.
What? This is it.
Minimally 40.
Golda is officially.
I know, it's so hard to believe. Isn't it? If you haven't checked out our YouTube page, you probably should, just to see how young we
youthful Golda looks. I mean, it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
That she's past 25, but here she is. She's admitting it to you, our listeners.
Yes, I am. Well, what I will tell you that I noticed once I hit 40 was I definitely, a couple of good things, right?
Oh, yeah.
A couple of the good things is that you don't put up with the bullshit as much anymore.
Very good.
Because you're a lot more confident as a 40-something-year-old than you were when you were in your mid-30s, early 30s, and younger. Yeah. So you're a lot more confident in your value and what you can contribute to this world. So when you smell, sniff, see bullshit, you're like, peace out. So that was a good thing.
That's great.
I loved that. About turning 40. The kind of not so great thing is you start noticing that the wheels are starting to fall off a little bit.
Just falling off.
Bit.
But they're getting a little rickety.
Loose. They're a little loose. Like the little, like, you need a wrench to kind of tighten some of the wheels up a little bit.
The lug nuts.
Yeah, the lug nuts need a little tightening. I noticed that definitely my skin started looking a little different.
Yeah, in what way?
It wasn't as elastic.
I'm gonna talk about my own lack of elasticity in a minute here, but yes, go on.
When I was in my 30s and early in 20s, I could bounce a quarter off my skin, no problem. It would just be like bing. But now the quarter just lands
and sticks.
On my and sticks
and slowly slides down my face.
Yes, the skin definitely. I mean, I'm talking superficial stuff here. Also, in terms of your metabolism slows down a little bit. What you used to be able to eat, where it didn't really cost you anything, in terms of energy or your health or your labs or anything else, it's starting to take its toll. So remember those fries that you can get at McDonald's and no problem. Well, think again when you turn 40, it will start to affect you in some way, whether it's your energy or you start getting weird rashes. That was me.
You got rashes from McDonald's?
I got little acne.
Oh,
I don't know, with some weird thing. Anyway, so your body starts changing and reacting to the things that you used to do before with no problem. Like when you were younger, you're invincible. Like nothing can touch you. You could do anything. You can be in a smoke-filled room and you're like, yes, I'm immune. Now I can't even think of being in any kind of smoke. I turn into that person that's like, is that cigarette smoke I smell? What is that? Where is that coming from? And I'm like, being that person. So starting to think about those things, your body definitely starts to change. Your perspective starts to change. The other thing too is that people start treating you a little bit differently.
Oh, in
too.
what way?
Well, one thing that I noticed is that people started looking younger to me.
Oh, yes.
They look like babies.
Yeah.
Like people would say, oh, I'm 25. I'm like, you look like you're 12. So my eyes started, I don't know, I had another filter maybe where everyone looked younger.
Is that glaucoma?
Maybe it's the thin film of glaucoma and cataracts. Yes, that's probably what it is.
Everyone's so soft focused. Why do they look
I
so
know.
blurry?
They look so young. So what about you, Wanru? What observations did you have?
Oh, yeah, I totally second all of these things. So first, let's talk about the mental changes that have occurred.
Oh, boy.
Luckily for me, fingers crossed, I still have that curiosity and the voracious desire to learn.
Yeah.
Which I think is a very good attribute to cultivate.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have any youthful attributes, like I love sports and I'm really into volunteering, or I like this, keep it up, keep your hobby up.
Yeah.
It's really good for your enjoyment of life and your energy for life.
Yeah.
So ever since I was a kid, I was a voracious reader. I read all the Encyclopedia Brown books.
Oh, I loved Encyclopedia Brown.
God. I feel like I learned everything about life from Encyclopedia Brown, who was this kid detective for you youngins out there, right? But so I still have that same enthusiasm for learning. So that has been a core of my life. But I am not nearly as self-conscious as I was in my 20s or 30s. And when I see people in their 20s now and I see how self-conscious they are, how they're so super self-aware, so afraid to do anything that might be outside of the norm or considered weird or considered lame. Like they're just so self-conscious. They monitor what they say so much. I can't relate.
So when did you notice that you didn't really care what other people thought anymore, or you weren't as self-conscious? Can you give us an example?
I would probably say in my mid-30s. So, for example, a lot of people are afraid to talk to people who have different statuses. Like at work, it might be your boss or right. Or it might be somebody who is you like idolize.
Okay.
But for me, I could talk to anybody. I can talk to somebody who is the VP or the president of our company. And I can talk to a 12-year-old kid with equal ease because I just relate to them as people. Whereas before I would be like, oh, please don't say something stupid in front of Dr. Zaya. Dr. Zaya is the head of the virology department. I'm going to say something really stupid. I know nothing about stem cell transplants. But now I know if I don't know something, just keep your mouth shut about it.
Yeah.
And ask them questions so that they are more willing to share their knowledge with you. So
that's great.
I guess it's a combination. I'm less self-conscious.
So much freedom, isn't it?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
So much freedom.
I'm less self-conscious, but also I know how to navigate tricky social situations more because you have more experience, right?
Right.
When you first encounter somebody and you're like, that's super awkward. How do I fix that?
Yeah.
Then you kind of develop some experience. So you can kind of go around awkward situations or avoid them altogether. So
I was kind of thinking more superficially as far as like when you mentioned that you're not as self-conscious. Like I was thinking of like for me, it's my clothes.
Oh, tell me about that. Yeah.
When I was younger, oh my goodness, it was all about looking cute.
Yeah.
And looking like, someone from Vogue or, fashionable or making a statement or, I used to get my nails done every single week like clockwork. When
was this?
My 20s.
Oh, girl.
And that lasted a long time.
You weekly would get your nails?
Weekly. I used to work in Orange County, California in Irvine.
Yeah.
And I went to the same place. I had a nail lady. She knew what I wanted. I mean, and man, it was like religious. I would go and get my nails done. I would go and get my hair done. I would go and, go to the same stores and buy, the latest season of whatever.
Yeah.
Now I'm like, I'm wearing like a blouse that I have like 8 years ago.
So
and I'm okay with that.
So let me ask you, where did that shift come for you?
For me,
Yeah.
I think it came from the fact that, it's not that I don't care about how I present myself, but I think I just dialed it down a little bit more, and it became more a matter of calibrating what was comfortable for me and not so much doing it for other people or doing it because other people were doing it.
Gotcha.
So it became, I felt like I became a lot more grounded and centered in paying attention to what was important to me versus pleasing everybody else.
Mm-hmm. And I think the advice I would give to young people or to anybody out there who still feels self-conscious is you think that everyone's looking at you.
Yeah.
You're like, oh my God, they're going to notice. The truth is, if they notice, those people don't matter to you.
Yeah, they don't care.
They don't care. You don't care about them. Who cares? Who cares what they think about you?
Yeah.
Right? I mean, in the long run, in the grand scheme of things, don't worry about it. Once you take the focus away from yourself and what people might be perceiving of you, and you focus it outwardly, you will feel a drastic change in power. You'll be very empowered because it's like you're free to say and do what you want. And actually, it's that freedom and that ease where you feel like if I look like a fool, I just look like a fool, that people actually gravitate towards. Because when people see other people get self-conscious, they get so awkward. But when they see someone at ease, they relax. It's kind of like that old adage, like a dog will bite you if you're fearful of them. I mean, I hate to say that, but we feed off of each other's energies.
Yeah.
So if you feel relaxed and at ease, it puts other people at ease.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I also think, dovetailing on what you just said, I feel like as you age, you become more of your authentic self.
If you're doing it right.
Yeah.
If you're doing it right.
Yeah. Somebody said something. I wish I had this quote. I will find it and post it in the show notes. But it had something to do with the fact that the age that you are at 25 is what you think people... Oh, it's Coco Chanel.
Oh.
That said the age that you are at 25 is what you think people want to see, but the age that you are when you're 50 is the age that you truly are. Meaning that's who you are. That's who you are. You finally are accepting and being able to present that to the world.
Awesome. That's great. So that's kind of our mental changes, not giving a shit and being more comfortable and speaking up when you want to, and also learning when not to speak up. I don't get into arguments with people as much anymore because I'm like, it doesn't matter.
So you're weighing it more.
Correct. Yes.
Okay.
I am focusing where to put my energy in more. And some things I just let it go because it doesn't really affect me what their beliefs are. Like,
not every conversation has to be a battle.
Correct. Yes.
What a waste of energy, isn't it? It's like sounding exhausting.
It is. Yeah.
I think when we get older, we just get tired faster.
Yeah.
So we're looking at ways to reserve the energy, right?
Absolutely.
And then focus on those things. Yeah.
Absolutely. And then physically, I agree with you.
Yeah.
Skin elasticity is an issue.
Yes.
My skin is sagging and bagging every which way. Okay. I mean, it's like a pair of stockings, right? The first time you put it on, you're like, "Ooh, these stockings are tight. They're form-fitting." After a while, you're like, "Why is it bagging at the knees right here?
Oh no!
What's this little hole right here?" So I'm always doing like collagen supplements and stuff, trying to keep it up. So that's the physical change.
Okay.
Also, obviously, not being able to recuperate from injuries or even like a breakout. It takes weeks for my breakouts to heal. Things like that. But to be honest, knock on wood, it has not been this cliff where I was fine and then I just precipitously dropped off.
Yeah.
It's been like a slow going down of my physical state. So there have been ways for me to sort of like boost it up, like watching what I eat, obviously, exercising and taking supplements, trying to just ease up on that aging. So that's the physical change. And that leads me into my first tip for how to combat aging.
Yeah.
Which is don't wait too long
to age.
Don't
wait too long for what?
Don't wait so long for the aging to catch up to you. Don't wait so long before you start taking care of yourself.
Yes.
At the first sign of trouble, start Googling, investigating how you can remedy it. Because it's like a car or a home. One small fix in the beginning, like if you see a little leak, a little spot on your ceiling, you're like, that's fine. It's okay. 2 months later, a big puddle of water crashes through and all your stuff gets ruined. That's kind of like your body too. If you see one little sign of trouble, it might be good to avert it, or else it may just grow into something where it becomes a huge problem.
An ounce of prevention, right?
It's so true.
That old adage. For you, what are some of the things that you are doing as a preemptive?
Oh, okay. So, for example, I have eczema. My skin is starting to break down. It's one of the things of aging. So I'm Googling like what supplements are good for it. I've switched to all unscented detergent, trying to use natural products. Of course, I use my illegal Amazon cream. I try to do things to try to prevent it from getting worse, because I do know that it can snowball. Yeah. And pretty soon it's going to be around my whole neck, at one point it was like a ring around my neck. It was really bad. So now it's just a few spots. So that's been very beneficial. I was noticing some leg pain because I was using the wrong office chair. Remember I told you?
Yeah.
We switched to office chairs at work, and I nipped it in the bud. I figured out it was the chair. I switched it out. I made sure my whole office setup was ergonomic. Yeah. Who knows? I might be like walking with a limp right now. Yeah. Right?
If you hadn't made that change.
If I hadn't made that change, exactly. Yeah. And lastly, this is so stupid, I've always had problems with my neck. So every couple years, I do research and I try different ergonomic pillows, and I make sure I always find a suitable ergonomic pillow. I'm an old lady. And I make sure to like change it out because they kind of get squished. They lose their cushiness. So, little things like that. Yeah. But in the long run, they're really good for you. Yeah. Yeah. So that's my first tip. Strike preemptively.
Yeah. And that could also mean, making sure you see the doctor.
Totally.
At least annually, but as needed, right? Yeah. If you notice any small thing, to get it looked at. Yeah. And don't be afraid of someone saying, oh, they're a hypochondriac, or they're always worried about something. Tell you, better to have it looked at and, just rule it out than letting it drag on.
Yeah. Golda actually totally improved her blood work within a year. Yeah. Just 1 year, maybe 6 months.
Yeah. Less than that, 6 months.
That's amazing. You turn your life around.
With my ketogenic way of eating.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. And one time, we're getting talk about grabbing it by the nuts. Yeah. One time I had a lump in my groin. Oh. It was very tender. Okay, here we go. We're going down.
You had a lump in your groin, just you.
Just me.
Okay.
Who else would it be?
No, I don't know. Okay.
Kind of where your leg meets your crotch.
Oh, yeah.
There was a lump there. And I was like, do I have lymphoma? What the hell is that?
So what happened?
And it was tender. And after a week, it would not go away.
Oh, boy.
So I went to the doctor. They examined it. They said that, this is a great tip, by the way. If it's tender, it's usually not a cancer. If it hurts. Like if you press on it and it's tender, it's usually not, but it doesn't hurt to get checked out. But if it's firm and it doesn't hurt, lymphoma.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, I'm just kidding. I mean, I'm not sure. But
of course, go to the doctor.
Go to the doctor.
Don't take our word for it. Just go to the doctor.
Not a medical practitioner. Yeah. But the thing is, good thing I checked on it.
Yeah.
Because what if I had lymphoma?
Oh, no.
But it's fine. It cleared up within a month. But yeah, just go and check.
Absolutely. No, I totally believe that. An ounce of prevention, definitely. And I feel like armed with the knowledge, knowing that the top 5 reasons why people die in this world are due to diseases, short of natural disasters and accidents and things like that. A lot of that is derived from what we eat.
Our lifestyle.
And our lifestyle, stress,
lack of sleep as well.
Sleep, all that stuff. So this is not a surprise. We know this. So what can we do about that? And the younger you are, the more you have an opportunity to correct, or at least improve upon what your current state is. So yeah, an ounce of prevention, I really believe that. And we have a lot of ways for you to gauge what your baseline is, you know? So as easy as getting blood work done, get a mammogram, you know, if you're over 40 or have breast cancer running in your family,
or
right?
do
Or
the exams yourself as well.
yeah, do all of that. And I think, you know, I think that for a lot of people, they don't want to face that because it's depressing.
And it's scary. It's
and
very
it's scary, right? Like, I don't want to go to the doctor. I mean, I have to admit, I'm one of those people. I don't like going to the doctor. Hate it. Hate it. Hate it, hate it, hate it, hate it. But it's almost like I force myself to do it because I know that I'm doing the right thing for myself.
Absolutely, yes.
So whatever you need to do to get your head in that space, you know, where it's actually about you, I think that would be helpful.
Very true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's my first tip, which is preemptive strikes. What about you?
I would say it very much along the lines of the preemptive strikes. I feel like one of the things that has helped me, and when I look back at even as early as when I was in my 30s and what would have helped me in my 40s, is this concept of moving more.
Tell me, what does that mean, moving more?
Because you know how, like, when you get older, you have like joint problems, right? And, you know, heart problems and stuff like that. And then when I look at the countries where there's a high life expectancy, like Japan and Monaco and these other, Italy's another one, right? Has a high life expectancy. Is this idea of always moving, right? So, for example, in Italy, their lifestyle is not a sedentary lifestyle. It's very much of they're walking in the market every day to get their fresh fruits and vegetables and poultry and meat and all those things. You know, they're not like sitting around watching TV all day. Yep. They're not at a desk job, an office job where that's all they're doing for 8 to 10 hours a day. Wherever you can, just move in order to get those joints moving, your heart rate up, all of those things. And every little bit counts. And I feel like that part of my life when I was in my 30s, when I actually worked out and moved around a lot and, you know, wasn't tied to a desk all the time, was probably one of the most healthy times of my life.
Sure, yes.
And when you create those habits early on, it's easier to maintain when you get older. I remember something that my chiropractor said to me, where I was way heavier than I am now. And, you know, she did an x-ray of my spine and I was having compression in my spine. And she said, a big part of that is your weight, you know, and when you're sitting down, you're just like, gravity is taking its toll. Right. And she said to me, if for any reason, selfishly speaking, I want you to lose weight. So for your spine health.
Gotcha.
Right. And I took that to heart. I never thought about my spine health until I pulled my back.
Oh,
I pulled my back. And for those of you who've ever had their back pulled, is that what they call it? Is it pulling their back or throwing your back?
Yeah, throwing your back out. Mm-hmm.
Oh, that is one of the most painful things. Have you ever thrown your back out?
No, I have not. All my issues with my vertebrae are in my neck. They're isolated to my neck. So I can relate on a small scale.
Yeah. I mean, I had no idea that I would be so incapacitated throwing my back out.
Oh,
and the way that it happened was the dumbest way that I threw my back out. And I was like late 30s or something, or no, mid 30s. And I was at the ArcLight Theater watching Moneyball.
Goddamn Moneyball.
And I got up from my chair and I got up too fast and at a weird angle.
Because Brad Pitt's performance was that bad. You're like, I got to get out of this theater ASAP.
What was I thinking? Jonah Hill? Anyway, so I stood up weird or something and then ouch, I heard something. And then it wasn't until I got home that it was like, oh, I couldn't even move.
You froze up at that point.
It was so awful and that had never happened before.
And I have a theory about this because I'm just relating to my neck and my own body and stuff, is that people always say they throw out their back doing the most like non-vigorous thing, like a very small effort.
Yeah. It's not like you're running like a marathon.
No.
Or like fighting crime or something.
Right. Or I should say it's something extreme, like they're trying to move a sofa the wrong way. Right. Either or. Right. Yeah. But the thing is, if you regularly work out your back, it's naturally has some muscle to support it. It's got good blood flow. It's got good mobility. So if you're doing a lot of exercises on your core, getting up from the seat, no big deal.
Yeah.
Or like, at work, I have to reach up a lot into high cabinets. Yeah. Sometimes it's a very bad angle and I could feel myself slipping, and I'm able to catch myself because I have good core. I work on my core a lot, so I have good core strength. So I could recover. But boy, reaching for the wrong thing in the cabinet is a really easy way to put your back out.
Yeah.
If you don't do that type of, if it's not within the range of your natural motions. So,
yeah.
So by increasing regular mobility, you're going to promote health overall.
Right. Absolutely. And I just think, just moving more and getting into that habit, and starting small if you need to, and just working up, towards a level that you're comfortable with will only serve you when you get older, for sure. I mean, I look at my parents. Ooh, they're struggling. I mean, they just turned 70, and you would think that they were like 85 years old, like in terms of mobility, because they don't really move, and nor did they have a history of creating that habit of moving or even like walking on a daily basis and all of that. I think that had they done that, it would have served them well, in their current age.
I think the human body is both amazing and also, as my friend Steve says, your body's a dumbass.
What did he mean by that?
Because when you put your back out getting out of a movie theater seat, you're like, my body's a dumbass. Like, why? I'm just standing up.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, it can do amazing things too. Like if you work on it, you may be able to do things. Like I'm working on a pull-up. I'm working on a back bend. Not doing so good. I don't look like a arch. I look like a tabletop.
Yeah.
But, trying to get to that nice arched back bend, So little things like that I'm working on, and your body is amazingly responsive if you put in the time and effort.
Absolutely. So, I mean, that's something that I, even at my tender age that I'm at right now.
Of 39
and a half. Now I'm over 40. I think we've established that. But anyway, so even at my tender age, that's definitely front of mind as I age and putting myself in the best possible position where I can still be mobile and I can still be agile. Because, one of the things that I always say is, when you get older, you don't want to just get older and then just wait to die. You want to have a very, robust age, as you get older, and still be able to be productive and independent
and do the
all
things
of those
you enjoy.
Things. Absolutely. And I think that's just one of the ways to sort of help with that, hopefully. Prepare you for that.
Great tip.
Yeah.
Great tip.
What other tips do you have, Wanru?
Okay, so this one I picked up because I used to deliver meals to people who were poor or older or, trapped in their homes.
Okay.
There's a much more PC way to say that.
Okay.
Okay, they
were trapped in their home?
This sounds awful.
Was it prison?
Limited mobility.
Oh, okay.
It's probably the better way to say it. People in need. I used to deliver Meals on Wheels. How's that?
Yeah.
And
it's great.
I learned a lot about aging from the people who were receiving the meals.
Okay. What'd you learn?
Number 1, maintain your health preemptively.
Yeah. That's the big one, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's a big one.
If you get ill, do not get cats or a cat or cats.
Huh?
Because they keep you indoors if you get ill.
Okay.
Because all the people that I saw that had dogs, it made them go outside and then made them very sociable.
Interesting.
And then all the people who had cats, it kept them more indoors. And so I was concerned.
Okay.
I don't know what came first, the cat or the staying indoors. Maybe they stayed indoors, so they were lonely and got cats, or the cats kept them. Anyways, I saw a bad pattern, so don't get cats. If you live alone, if you're healthy and you've got a partner and a robust social life, get cats, all right?
Yeah, okay.
Or get a dog to get you outside more.
Yeah, definitely dogs, you have to go outside. You have to walk them, right? So play with them even outside. So that might give you an excuse to move around, right?
And people usually approach you if you have a dog, and they might chat with you. So it's helps you to get out.
Okay,
Yeah.
I could see that.
That's sort of a side tip, but my main tip is to maintain a strong social network.
Oh, tell us more about that. Why is that important?
I was listening to a woman who worked with a lot of people who were at the end of their lives. She worked in hospice care.
Okay.
And one of their regrets is not maintaining their friendships or
Yeah.
their family connections.
Yeah.
They always regret that. They go, oh, why did I lose touch with my friends? Why didn't I resolve that issue I had with this member of my family? And because as you get older, those friendships become fewer and fewer. And those family relationships also, like literally your family members will pass away. So to enjoy your family members and your friends and your partner, and to cultivate those relationships and carve time out for them, always led to a happier end of life situation. Was that a bummer?
No, you're actually reminding me of there are countries out there, I think Denmark might be one of them, where they create sort of these communities.
Yes.
So short of having a retirement or senior living or type of scenario, a lot of countries or people actually are creating communities. So if you would envision 2 acres of property somewhere and a build out of a couple of houses, right? And then you sell those houses like a community, like your local townhome community or whatever. But this is a lot more purposeful, where the people who are at these townhomes are friends and family members.
Yeah.
And then there's a central meeting place where people take turns making dinners and things like that. And they have social situations, at this central meeting place. And the thought behind it is to create a community that will age. And as they age, they will never be alone.
Yeah.
Because of where they're living and how they're structured.
I imagine it's like Melrose Place, but with less sex and backstabbing.
Yes, exactly. And the outrageous Melrose rental prices.
Yes, exactly. Oh, by the way, this is part of me and Golda's plan.
Yes.
When we retire, we want to get tiny homes next to each other.
That's
right?
exactly what we're doing.
Yeah.
We're gonna do it.
Hashtag 2065. Here we come.
Here we come, Sonny.
Here we come, Montana. Here we go.
That's our total dream, isn't it? Is to just have a bunch of. I mean, we started already thinking about okay, which city should we get this property at?
Yeah,
and I think it's tied to what you're saying, Wanru, about having a community and having those relationships. Because as you grow older, it's important to have connections with people and not live out your life by yourself. Right. I remember there's this really, really wonderful diner here in South Pasadena called Colonial Kitchen.
Oh, yes.
They're a diner and they've been around for 50 years or something. And we were talking to one of the waitresses that has been working there for 20 something years. And we noticed that when we were looking around that there's a lot of elder people that go to Colonial Kitchen and they're by themselves a lot of the times. And we asked the waitress, oh, so, do you have a lot of older people that come here? And she goes, yeah. And it's usually the same people that come and they stick around for like an hour because that's their social time. And their social time is their conversation with the wait staff.
Oh, geez.
So they're not interacting with each other, right?
Oh, geez. They need a Melrose Place.
They need a Melrose Place. So they're kind of almost there, right? But
sit at the same table.
Yeah, or something, right? But, that got me thinking about how, it is a need to connect with people. And, when you think about where can I meet people, or where are people converging? It's usually when they're eating, right? So, yeah, I just thought that was really interesting that there will always be a need to connect, for any space of time.
On my way to work, there's a Starbucks, and on the outdoor patio, there's a group of older, gray-haired gentlemen. I don't know how old they are, but they meet and have coffee every single day at around the same time, around 9 o'clock.
I love it.
Isn't that great?
I love that.
Yeah, and they all are smiling. They look active. They have dogs, and they're getting away from their wives for a little while. So you can see it's kind of like a lovely little community, and it's just Starbucks. You could meet there.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, I think that there's a lot of ways to connect with each other. So let's say you don't get along with your family. So are you saying that regardless of if you get along with them, you should probably force yourself to get along with them because you'll live longer?
I don't have any statistics to back that up, but I was going to say that just for practicality reasons, you do need to put someone on that form, like in case of emergency. And family members are usually a good contact for that, because when you get in the hospital and you're not like 100%, let's just talk about practical things. You're in the hospital and you don't have your wits about you. It would be nice to have someone there by your side.
Yeah.
I'll do that for you if you need.
Will you be my person?
Yeah.
I know you have. Grey's Anatomy quote.
Oh!
It was what's her name?
Meredith Grey.
Meredith and her best friend, Yang. Dr. Yang.
Dr. Yang.
They were each other's persons. Christina Yang.
Well, Golda
one of the best characters in TV ever. But anyway.
Yeah, Golda has a Dr. Yang already. She already has a partner. She has a person. But I will be there.
I will be your person, Wanru.
Oh, thank you.
I said it.
There you go. Yeah,
we can be multiple people's persons.
Yeah, totally. Don't forget.
For sure.
You need that network. So
I actually have a laminated card in my wallet that says in case of an emergency.
Whoa.
I've got it in there. I know people do that on their phones. They have some code or something you can use, but I'm too old. I don't know what that is.
Oh, that's amazing.
I laminated it at the library. And I drink coffee with my dinner. Yes, so what? So what?
And she goes to bed at 7:00. But you know what?
And I don't eat nachos anymore because it's bad for my teeth.
Okay, so that's my last tip. Do you have any other last tips?
I do. And one of the things that I realized is that when you grow older, a lot of it is going to be mental also.
Yes.
So as much as we're focusing on physical and diet and all that good stuff, it's also preparing yourself mentally. There is a documentary, I forget the title, maybe Gertie knows this, our producer knows this, but it was centered around 4 or 5 English women who were theater actors. So like Judi Dench was in there, Joan Plowright. Who else was there? Anyway, it was a documentary where they talked to these grand dames. Oh, it was like the tea with the grand dames, something like that. And they asked each person what advice they would give to young people about aging. And Joan Plowright, who is in her own right a phenomenal actor and artist, was also married to what is his name? That one, Laurence Olivier.
Oh my goodness.
And one of the things that she said, she's now legally blind, and I want to say she's in her late 80s.
Oh my goodness.
And one of the things that she said, and she was so grounded when she said this. So this is the biggest takeaway I had in this entire documentary. It's the documentary again. It's called "Tea with the Dames." Tea with the Dames. When they asked Joan Plowright her advice to young people, she said, "Practice mindfulness."
Ooh.
She said, "Had I known this, I should have started this when I was younger and when I had a better grasp and capability to be able to hone that skill." She said, because she's doing that now, which is helping her tremendously. How much more had she practiced it earlier in her life where she knew how to do it better, right?
Yeah.
So she said it was to study your brain. She said that as when you're still young, understand how your brain works and how to keep the brain healthy.
Whatever that means to you.
Yeah. So whatever that means to you, whether that is, like you had mentioned, reading, right? Learning something different, taking up a new skill set, practicing mindfulness, all of whatever entails brain health, focus on that, because that is what's going to get you through the aging process and the changes that come with aging.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I always envision my brain kind of like a dirt road, and the things that you do carve ruts into the road. Okay. So let's say you're a little wagon and you keep going the same circle again. Haven't you noticed your parents become more and more repetitive?
Yeah.
As they get older, have you noticed that trend?
Sure.
My mom is so repetitive.
Yeah.
And I think it's because she's on the same track.
Mm.
And so her mind is literally retracing the same things. And she'll say the same things to me over and over.
Yeah.
Whereas if you find ways to get off of that track and make new paths, like through the forest or the underbrush, literally the road not taken by Robert Frost, but you kind of forge these little trails, your brain can more easily branch out and your brain can more easily like diversify and become more robust.
It's a smoother road, because if you go along the same trail using the same tires and all of that with the same weight, there's going to be some potholes.
There's going to be some ruts.
There's going to be some ruts. You're going to get stuck, right? Versus if you do different, it's like creating different synapses, right?
Yeah, it's literally the connections in your brain that are actually allowing you to learn or do something. It's literally those neuron connections. I imagine that instead of a wagon wheel, I would like my brain to be like a 4x4. And I'm like, and I just smash over everything.
Yeah.
That's how robust my brain is.
Oh, that would be
is that a good analogy?
Yeah, I believe it.
Yeah, like,
I can see it.
Drive through the brush because my brain is so powerful. I don't know where this
Strong brain.
Strong brain. Hashtag strong brain 2065.
Well, one of the things that I was going to say, I mean, in addition to brain health and mindfulness and looking at your mental clarity and mental health, is also this practice. I think that when I think of some of the happiest older people that I've known in my life, what always amazes me and what I always admire about some of these really impressive older people is their ability to be so positive.
Yeah.
And joyful, like focus on the joyfulness and the positivity. To me, when I in my lifetime, when I've met those individuals, those older people who have such a, just, it's like nothing bothers them. And if it did, it's not, they're not focusing on it. They're focusing on the joyfulness. I love that.
I know, the resilience, right?
Yeah. I think the joyfulness helps them become more resilient. But I think that at the source of it, it's that they're practicing joyfulness. They're practicing looking at something optimistically, right? And not looking at something in the negative light. And I think there's something to be said about that, and being able to practice that as you're younger so that it becomes second nature to you as you get older. I really think that's a really great way to live. And I think that's a good survival mechanism.
Yeah.
At the least.
I think that's a great way to wrap up this topic, which is just try to build some emotional, physical, and mental resilience.
Yeah.
In all aspects. Just try to bounce back. Don't let life push you down and drag you out like a pair of old stockings.
Yes.
Try to maintain your elasticity. And grab aging by the balls. That's the sound of Golda grabbing something by its balls, by the way.
I'm like a little puppy. A puppy with a new stuffed toy.
All right, well, thank you so much for sharing.
Yeah, thank you.
Here is a segment of products we love. Someday this will come true. Dream sponsors.
Next up, our dream sponsors. Products that we endorse and we fully support. We're not even getting paid to support them, but we're going to talk about them anyways. So Golda, what is your dream sponsor for this week?
Well, my dream sponsor this week is inspired by a post from Veronica Mars herself, Kristen Bell. She posted a picture of her and her husband, Dax Shepard, and she was wearing something that intrigued me. And the product is called the Lazy Readers or Lazy Reader. Do you know what that is?
No, I do not.
It's basically eyeglasses, but they're not prescription, and they're prism glasses that have a mirror in them. So do you ever read a book or watch TV as you're lying down and it kind of hurts your neck.
Yeah,
and
you
your
have to
head.
crane your neck or put a bunch of pillows up.
Yeah. So when you wear these glasses, you can see everything, but without having to crane your neck. So you're alleviating any pressure in your neck because you could see it through the mirror.
So let's say you have the glasses on, and like I am sitting up and I'm looking straight ahead. What will I see?
You'll see your lap.
I'll see my own crotch.
You'll see your crotch very clearly.
I can see all the crumbs from the sandwich that I ate, for
That's
example.
exactly right.
So for practical purposes, what's the best way to use these glasses?
If you are sitting on a recliner
Or lying down in
or
bed?
lying down in
It might
bed,
even be better.
instead of holding, let's say you're reading in bed, instead of holding the book up to your face so that you can read, you just need to put it on your lap. You don't have to hold anything. And you're saving your, your arm muscles and your neck muscles and all that stuff, right? Or if you're on a recliner and you're all the way back, right? Nice and comfy, and you want to watch TV, right?
Yes.
You can point the mirror towards the TV and still be sort of reclined back without having to compromise your reclined state.
Could you use this at work?
How so?
I'm trying to think of the
A
laziest way
a lazy way.
to do my work. I don't know.
Well, maybe if you are.
Oh, I got it. You're at a meeting.
Mhm.
And it's the most boring meeting you've ever been in. You can actually put your iPhone in your lap. Put on these lazy readers and be like, yes, Bob, that's a great idea. I'm listening, Mary. The whole time you're watching like animal videos on YouTube in your lap.
Or you're playing Farm Heroes or something.
Exactly.
Playing a game or something.
Mm-hmm.
Or catching up on the latest news, pop culture news that day.
Exactly.
Yeah.
On Instagram, scrolling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. Multiple uses for these lazy readers.
You know what would be really great? I don't know if they invented it.
Yeah.
That would go really well with the lazy reader.
What's that?
Lazy Instagram scroller.
What's that? Oh, shoot. Tell me more. I think I know, but tell me.
So it would be a thing. I don't know if this exists.
Okay.
Okay, NASA, get on this. You put
Because NASA is just sitting around thinking of things to do right now.
They're lacking in innovation.
They're not busy.
And okay, SpaceX. And you guys can work on this too, because I know you guys have plenty of time. But get the engineers on this. It'll be a device that holds your phone and just does the scrolling action that your thumb would do.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So you can scroll Instagram without actually having
That
to
is a time
scroll.
suck, isn't it? And an energy suck to be scrolling down Instagrams.
Yeah.
Or Facebook, for that matter.
Right. So it could be your iPad or your iPhone. It's going to scroll through
Twitter.
whatever. Twitter.
Yeah.
And then you don't have to lift a hand
Oh
and you don't
my
have to
God,
lift your
brilliant.
neck.
Copyright.
Copyright.
Trademark. Don't even think about it, JPL.
Apple?
We're on to you.
We're
This
on
is
to
date
you.
stamped. This is date stamped. Just saying. Don't try to be smart.
Lazy reader, lazy scroller. What a wonderful 2-for-1
Telling you.
product.
There's just all kinds of just cross-selling we can do here.
So Golda, you have not yet tried this product.
No, I've only seen this on Instagram via Kristen Bell and Dax Shepard. Looks brilliant.
We're reaching out to them. What's the name of the company again?
Lazy readers.
We're reaching out to them. If you want to send it to us so we can actually try it on, we're already endorsing you.
Yeah.
But if you would like us to endorse you in real
Brilliant.
life,
Yeah.
we just like the idea of it.
Yeah, it just sounds cool.
But if you want to send it to us and let us try it on, we can even give you a more thorough endorsement, right?
Yeah. What you got to lose?
What do you got to lose?
Nothing,
Exactly.
really. What about you, Wanru? What is your dream sponsor?
Okay, so first of all, Golda,
Yeah.
I would like you to look at this image, and all of you at home, we will put it up in the YouTube. You just have to Google truck driver face and describe this image to our...
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy.
You might maybe be able to see that. This person, on the left side of their face, it is very, very wrinkly. But on the right side of their face, it's a lot less wrinkly. It's a lot smoother. So I guess what you're trying to say is that these truck drivers who drive a long way get a lot of damage on the side of their face that faces the sun, maybe?
Yeah, so this is a case study of a British lorry driver. And Obviously, he drove this lorry like his whole life. And the left side of his face was exposed to so much UV rays. It literally looks like
Oh, wow.
Jekyll and Hyde.
Yeah.
It looks like a Quasimodo on one side.
Yeah.
Other side's pretty smooth, right?
Yeah.
So that's from the
It's like
UV
a
rays.
papyrus parchment.
What? His
But
face?
the left side looks like an old Egyptian papyrus like parchment they found in some excavation somewhere. The left side.
Left side. Right side looks like
Like an Estee Lauder commercial for their latest serum.
exactly
Call us Estee Lauder.
another dream
Just kinda
sponsor.
Squeeze that in there.
So my dream sponsor would be a UV tint shield from Amazon
For your car?
for your car window.
Ah,
Okay, so
okay.
it's like this plastic thing you can like stick on, and you could peel it off. Okay.
Oh.
So, for example, I've already tinted my windows, my car windows.
Okay.
It's like a light tint, but it's an extra layer. It's called peel off UV tint.
Mm-hmm.
And there are many companies that make it. So if there's a company that wants to send it to us for try, let us
Mhm.
know. But if you Google Amazon peel off UV tint, there's all over Amazon. And it's just like a piece of film, almost like a piece of plastic wrap, and you stick it on to those areas that you need it.
Okay.
And then you peel it off when you don't. That's how you prevent the truck driver face.
Well, so that sounds really wonderful. But I guess I got my lawyer hat on, and I'm not a lawyer. But is that legal? I'm just wondering.
So in California, it is not legal to tint your front windows, your driver's side and your passenger side front windows.
On your own, you have to professionally get it done.
You could do it on your own, or you can have a professional do it.
Okay.
But the thing is, if you get caught by the police, they will ask you to remove the tint.
Okay.
So I do a light tinting
Okay.
so that they don't really pull me over for it.
I see.
Okay.
I
But the
see.
great thing about this peel off and peel on thing, it is about the size of a placemat.
Okay.
You stick it to the inside of your car,
Okay.
and it's removable. So if you
Okay.
get pulled over, you just take that off.
Okay.
In the
Okay.
unlikely event
I
that
see.
you get pulled over. Actually, and it looks way less dorky than wearing those full face shield things that a lot of Asian drivers do in Southern California. It looks like an arc welding mask. Have you seen it? It looks like Darth Vader.
Yeah. They
Those-
use that while they drive?
Yeah.
Oh, no kidding.
It looks like a full face shield that you can lift up and down, and it's completely dark, and they look like Darth Vader. But
I see.
that shit really works. I mean, that protects you all around, but then you look foolish.
Can I just ask you, like, just for my own education? So let's say, what if you just put like a gob of like sunscreen on the left side of your face? Is that not
would
as
work
good?
well. That would work as well.
Okay, okay. So what you're trying to say is, just for your own health and safety, it's good to consider these screens.
And I already put sunscreen on the left side of
Okay.
my face more heavily. And actually, I've experienced, and maybe you've experienced as well, I get more sunspots on the left side of my face.
I do too, and I'm redder. My face.
On the
I've
left
got my
side.
rosacea. I've got rosacea, and it's a lot more pronounced
On the left side. We're turning into the truck driver slowly.
Oh,
and so
boy.
I generally apply more sunscreen on that side anyways. But
Mm,
I'm going to buy this stick-on shield for that extra layer because
interesting.
I do a lot of things. Like I use lasers to remove my spots,
Oh,
and I
yeah.
use creams to try to prevent it. So why not go that extra layer and just put
Okay.
that little stick-on thing and then
Mm.
not look so foolish as wearing the full face mask? Although maybe I'm getting there.
just for added measure, right?
For added measure, exactly.
Yeah, that's so interesting. Well, I also noticed too that it's not just your face, but it's also your hands.
True. Yeah.
Right? Like you can I'm looking at it. Look, I've got like little got little freckles on my hands.
She's got a baby freckle on her left hand side.
Yeah, and that wasn't there before.
I know.
Suspicious mole. Get that checked.
Should get that checked.
But yeah, I noticed that like on my left arm. See, there are like freckles everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, ooh, interesting. Okay, so the peel off UV tint.
Yeah, both of these products we have not tried. We're eager to try them. We'll report back, but they still are our dream sponsors.
And just like that, we are at the end of this episode, Wanru.
I feel like I'm 50 years older.
I do too. I feel like I'm Estelle Getty. But she's so young. She's so young, apparently. So this is the episode where we kick aging in the balls.
Yeah,
Or
in the
kick
nuts.
it to the curb.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So as we always do, we ask each other what we're going to take away from this episode. And we invite you to ask that of yourself as well. But for you, Wanru, what are you going to take away from today's episode? What's going to be the lingering thought or image?
The fact that your mother advises people not to have children.
My own mother.
Her own mother. Although, let me tell you, Mama Inquito,
Yeah.
even
You
if
tell her.
even if Golda has aged you 20 years, she brings me joy every day and she's giving me life.
Worth it, right?
Right?
Worth it.
So for those around her, she's actually giving them a reason to live.
See that?
I need a social network. I need a person to put on my emergency laminated card. So you gave me that. You gave me the person when I'm unconscious. We'll make sure they don't cut off the wrong leg.
You done did good, mama. It's a good thing to have kids.
I'm sure she was joking. And I think if she was going to look back at her life, I'm going to speak for your own mom now. You will be one of the highlights of her life.
Thanks, Wanru. I'm sure that's absolutely true. I'm going to play her just this section of the episode and watch her facial expression. And I will tape it for you and see what we cull from that. So you're going to take away my mom's regretting her life choices.
Yes, I'm going to take that away.
Got it.
But always
Yeah.
remember that one person's regret is another person's
Treasure.
treasure.
Absolutely.
Exactly,
I
yeah.
believe it. We're all connected, etc.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm going to take away is when you talked about how when you have your life experiences and when you're creating these connections and synapses, and the analogy that you had about the wagon wheel and the dirt road, the Mars rover, over your life, and that your brain is this wagon Mars rover or AV. So you said AV 2x4? No, that's something different. 4x4. 2x4 is a
SUV?
piece of wood. Yes, a 4x4, right? Is that a 4x4? I'm obviously not a cars person. But you know what I mean when you're saying that you're creating these marks, right?
These ruts.
Yeah, these ruts. That actually I was envisioning it as you were saying it, so I think that's gonna stick to me or stick with me. But yeah,
So don't get in a mental rut. Try to branch out and learn new things and push yourself so that you have lots of new synapses and connections and roads.
yeah,
So in case that one path gets flooded, you're like, okay, I'll just go on this other path.
Yeah.
I'm very flexible.
you're creating grooves.
Yeah.
All these different grooves, textures and depths and all that good stuff.
Exactly.
That's what
are
I'm
we,
gonna take.
Are we still talking about the road?
Yes, I think it's happening.
What's happening? Aging.
How old am I? What's my name again? 1, 2, 5, 6, 7.
Ow, my back. Woo, okay.
Man, I'm gonna stretch later. So if you enjoyed today's episode, we invite you to subscribe to us and share us or the show with all of your friends and all of your family, and with much enthusiasm and fervor. And we wanted to let you know if you're listening to us on your preferred podcast provider, we're also available on YouTube as well. So if you'd like to see us in all of our colorful glory and see our eyebrows go up and see how I contour my cheekbones, please check out our YouTube page and check us out and subscribe there.
Mm-hmm. And you can also listen to us on every podcast provider out there, including Apple and Google Podcasts, Spotify, Overcast, Stitcher. And you can also ask your home pod, like Siri or Alexa, to play us. Just say, Siri or Alexa, play the Ganru.
Actually, it's the Ganru.
Ganru.
That's how they know us, the Ganru show.
Yeah.
So until next time, I'm Golda.
I'm Wanru.
This has been the Ganru show.
Bye.
Thanks for watching and listening.